By the time you watch this video, there will be less than 2 weeks before the start of Hot Rod Drag Week, and I gotta be honest, we're not ready. Not even close. Our last track test, disaster, did not go well. However, we did find some things that probably are what contributed to that disaster, and we fixed them. We're also gonna make one serious upgrade to Blast Me's Hemi in this episode. If I'm being honest, at my core, at the center of my being, I'm a truck guy. Yeah, I like muscle cars, I like hot rods, but I can't seem to get away from good old-fashioned American pickups. Stuff with a V8 and a bed in the back for doing work. And I know you guys love them too, especially a classic Chevrolet C10 like this Cheyenne model. So I'm giving you one. You, or you, or you, or you. Someone is gonna win my truck. Not you, Joe, sorry, can't be you. No employees or friends of mine can win this deal. But if you go to fsmgarage.com right now, you'll see details on how you can enter to win my truck without even spending anything. You can just enter a postcard, it'll show you how. But if you buy a sticker pack or a shirt or a hat or hoodies, that'll get you even more entries into the contest that'll see this 85,000 original mile 1976 Chevrolet C10 short bed in your driveway. Let me show you about this truck, right? I bought it from a lawyer, so you know it's good. And in the 20 years he owned this, from 1991 till now, he only put 20,000 miles on it. That's right, friends, look inside there. Now, if you have studious eyes or you're a square body Chevy fanatic, you'll note that is not the factory body color on the outside of the truck, but it is on the inside. That's because this thing's been repainted. And I don't mean like, hey buddy, she was a rusty hunk of crap and needed a bunch of body work. No, it got a respray over factory sheet metal. Those are the original rockers, original bed sides, original fenders, all factory GM metal. Solid. Look at that. Look at that close. Watch this tailgate. Look down this side. She is not warped. She is not bent. She opens up just like that and shuts just like that, because this thing hasn't been in an accident. It's outstanding. And it's gonna get better because right now this thing is stock. We're about to hop her up. We're gonna do a full QA1 coilover conversion front and back, 20-inch wheels and tires. This thing's gonna look bananas. It's gonna stop better, corner better, handle better. We're gonna give it a better exhaust system so it's gonna sound even better. We are not, however, changing that old school Alpine tape deck because it works. So I'm gonna give you, and your new vehicle, a selection of my favorite cassette tapes to go in this for your road trip home, because there's no way whoever wins this isn't going to want to mob this thing all the way home, even if they live in California or New York. Perfect road trip vehicle. You know why? Factory GM air conditioning, the coldest thing ever. I mean, it will freeze your nuts off and make your nipples hard. It's outstanding. It's 90 degrees in Georgia. I had to turn it down on my way here because it was just too cold. It's perfect. Let's look under the hood. This truck has a small block Chevy 350 V8, which you know is good, and a 3-speed turbo 350 transmission. And it is 100% stock other than an Edelbrock carburetor. It fires right up, it makes no noises, it does all the right things. It's outstanding. God, I love it. I don't want to give this truck away. I love this. I love the front end with the round headlights. That's my favorite. So, here's how you can do this. Between now, which is somewhere around September 29th, and October 5th, go to fsmgarage.com and find out all the details on how you can enter to win this. If you don't get the truck, a bunch of you are going to win prize packs that have an FSM shirt, a hat, and sticker pack. Even more of you are going to win signed FSM hats. So lots of people are going to come up on this deal, and somebody is going to win my square body. Good luck. So here's the deal. Last time around, we were down 1.5 pounds of boost. The left bank was lean. I thought the clutch was slipping. Turns out it wasn't. We just were lacking a whole lot of horsepower. In fact, the number 5 cylinder probably wasn't firing the way it should have been. So we have some things we can work on. We replaced the ignition coil for number 5. We've addressed the tune. Our lack of boost, I'm pretty sure it came right down to these bad boys right here. When we got home, every nut holding the flange of the blower case down on the intake manifold, these bad boys, all of them were loose. And we tightened them. Like before we left town, we snugged them. And there's a spec for this. It's something ridiculously small, like 13 inch-pounds or something like that. Like you don't want to over tighten them because you can tweak the blower case, right? And the clearances of everything in there are so tight you don't want that to happen. And this used to not be an issue for us because we had regular old cardboard blower gaskets in it, and this thing tightened down really well. Well, when this engine got rebuilt over the summer, we asked Harrell Engine and Dyno to O-ring the intake manifold because we've had problems with blowing out blower gaskets. It's happened, right? So they did that. They did a great job. It looked beautiful. However, I think we now need a new methodology for tightening this thing down, because what was tight in our garage was loose in our garage after just 6 shots at the racetrack. So we're going to pull this blower off, check the O-ring, make sure it hasn't pushed out anywhere, because everything came loose, and you know, that's no good. And while we're in there, we're going to look at the mating surfaces of these two things and make sure, are they flat? Do they overlap? If there's any ledges in there, we're taking those things out, because ledges are restrictions, and restrictions kill flow, and killing flow kills horsepower. So I believe by the end of this video, this Hemi is going to make more power and hopefully not fall apart again. So step 1, get the blower off. That's easy because most of the nuts were loose. We already just took them off. They were just paying tight. Fuel rails are undone, bolts are off, belt is off. We should just be able to lift the blower off.
Straight up and out.
Ready?
Right.
And to the table. So here you can see the O-ring. They did a good job. They milled the surface of this, put a channel in it, dropped the O-ring in it, and it sticks up just a little bit. And I'm gonna guess what happened was we tightened it down, compressed the O-ring, and then once it warmed up, we needed to retorque it maybe. I don't know. We're also gonna take some measurements real quick and see, does this opening match the opening of our blower? I don't think it does, because watch this. So this is a Blower Shop 871 supercharger. We have what they call their race case with a delta opening. A delta is a triangle. And if you look right in here, there's the witness mark of the O-ring. And yeah, it turns right there. It looks like it might not seal because the O-ring's probably running right along that edge. So we need to look at that. But more importantly, if that's where our O-ring is turning, well, then that means we probably have a ledge right here on the intake manifold. And if we open that ledge up to match this opening, we'll have better airflow. I think if we take the throttle body off the top, we can flip this thing upside down on the bench back there.
Okay.
And we can take some measurements. To get this out, you got to get all these fasteners out. So these are interesting, this Hemi. The fasteners are straight up and down. They're not splayed. They're not at an angle, right? And there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's 12 on this intake manifold, and they require a very special socket. A socket that's so special that it's zip tied to my roll cage, so that I never lose it, I never leave home without it. And that's it right there. The fabled 12-point, 5/16 1/4-inch drive socket that's been sanded down enough to fit into that intake manifold to pull those bolts out. And so it's zip tied to the bar, the door bar there. And oh, this here, this is a piece, I believe, of the firewall or the floor of the original 2-lane blacktop 55 Chevy that was given to me by somebody who knows Richard Ruth. And so that is also zip tied to the car. I don't leave home without that either. I feel like that's good luck. Because if those guys can street race their way across the country in a movie without dying, then I should be able to survive drag and drives cross country. Sounds logical. So Joe, how about, before we rip the intake off, straight edge from here to here, measure this way, you know, confirm our suspicion that maybe there's a ledge there. So these studs are offset. This one is behind this one.
I don't know where this came from, but they work.
You look good, my friend.
Do I look studious?
Sure. I like the precision of the straight edge combined with the less precise end of the tape measure.
Right. It's kind of hard, but it's right at 3/8 of an inch.
That would be the center line of the stud because you're, well, I think it's the center line of the stud. You're in front of that one, behind that one. It looks straight across.
Yeah, it looks pretty close.
Let me get another straight edge so we don't have to worry about the end of the ruler. Because sometimes those things get bent and you just, okay, let's try this one, Joe. Instead of the
Tape measure?
Yeah.
Yeah. Three-eighths. Right at 3/8.
Okay, so from the studs forward, there's 3/8 to the O-ring. So let's come over here.
I don't know if this is going to work so well.
What is that?
I only have a couple hands.
Just gently let it back. Let's see if the air bells stop it up against the wall there.
Those are so thin, I don't want to break them.
Yeah, just go gently. There we go. Yeah.
So we're on the front of this one and the back of this one.
Okay.
And
Let me get you a flashlight. It's kind of dark here. Donkey.
like if our O-ring, it looks to me like our O-ring isn't sealing, right? 3/8 of an inch, it's over the opening.
Yeah, the front edge of it doesn't look like it. Looks like it's hanging in the air.
Yeah.
Surprised it didn't blow out. And the thing is the guys at HED didn't have the blower when they O-ring the intake, so it's not their fault. They just put it in a reasonable
spot. These have a
spot.
little bit of movement. They're 7/16 bolt, but.
So we're saying the O-ring is right in here, basically.
Yes.
Which means the opening goes further forward. Which means our opening is at least here.
Right on, the opening's probably right on the outside edge of this here, we can tell you right now.
Which means we've got...
What is our outside? It's like 1/2 inch.
Yeah, so
to the outside edge.
So basically we've got a ledge in there and an O-ring that's not sealing.
Yeah,
okay.
that's what it looks like.
Which means there's potential for more performance if we take an end mill and we open this up to that O-ring and go that way, and then continue the O-ring this way. Back here is no big deal. The blower opening doesn't come back here. It's back here. It's like a triangle that way. But up here, we got a ledge.
Yeah, according to this, our blower opening is right here. On the back side of this, that's where the blower opening ends.
Sick. Okay. So there's a guide there for us to machine it.
Yeah.
Nice. All right, let's pull the intake. I gotta learn to O-ring an intake now, because I don't know how. I'm thinking we need to go and just continue that on, get some more O-ring material, and re-O-ring it. Or you go back to these things, which is what we've been running forever. You know, this is the gasket we used to run. We'd cut that bar out. And
yeah, once we open that, we need to be a minimum another 1/8 inch up.
For the O-ring.
Maybe even more for the O-ring to seal on this flat surface right here.
Yeah, because it looks like it comes all the way, the end of the mount looks like it's right here. See this line?
Yeah.
So as long as we're between here and here, we're safe.
Yes.
I've dreamt of like building a tunnel ram for this blower or getting a sheet metal intake or, something a little more high tech. But I've also dreamt of just, being done with this car and winning one more and then, just putting it in cruise mode after that either.
Making a parade vehicle out of it?
Yeah, I've dreamt of both things. Because one of the reasons this intake is kind of a pain to work on is because of the 12 bolts with the socket that no one ever has at the racetrack when you forget yours at home, which is why this is zip tied to the roll cage.
That's a tight tolerance.
Mm-hmm. These are ARP, tiny bolts to hold this in. Shout out to Chris Rashke, RIP. He's a huge help in my racing program, and I miss him. That's them. Look at that. Look at how tiny the head of that bolt is.
There's some little bolts for something that's holding a lot of pressure.
Because they go in straight up and down, they're not splayed. You have to just keep going round and round and round in circles before it finally tightens all the way down evenly, crushes the gasket, and stops coming loose. If you just tighten it once, much like our supercharger, it's going to keep loosening up.
I'm just going to say this. It's a new motor. We shouldn't be doing this.
Well, they didn't have the blower when the O-ring did, so how are they going to know?
I know.
Nothing's perfect. Nothing. I don't care what you spend, who you go to, where the part was made. It doesn't matter. Nothing is perfect. And as long as you keep a good attitude about it, then it'll be all right. Yeah, this is probably the sort of thing that would make the average human want to throw tools. Me, I'm like, ooh, I get to use my Bridgeport. Maybe we'll go faster, Oh.
I'm curious if this has been rubbing like this only since we've been testing and doing test drives.
No, this was like that.
Really? Even on top of the cardboard basket it was doing that?
Mm-hmm. That's the end of the cardboard gasket right there. All right, Joe, you want to pull rails, cut silicone, and pry this off? I got to go pick the kids up from school. So right now we're disassembling the intake manifold. We'll take the burst panel out. We'll remove our inlet air temp sensor and our boost reference line. Anything that metal chips can get stuck into. And basically, we're extending the opening forward to match the discharge opening of the blower. And then we'll put an end mill in here and continue this O-ring groove this way and put it in further out here. This is the end of our gasket sealing surface from before, so we'll probably open this up just past that and then extend the O-ring groove out here somewhere in the middle. And if I screw that up, I'll just lay a flat gasket over the whole thing and it'll be fine. Because the only end mill I have right now is this guy, which is an 1/8 inch 4-flute end mill with an 1/8 inch shank. And it's highly likely that I'm gonna snap this in half because I'm not a machinist. Did I mention that? Did I mention that I'm not a machinist? Okay, so according to our measurements on our supercharger outlet, we need to open this up a 1/2 inch from the face of this ruler to match the discharge of the supercharger. No big deal. However, measured the opening, the width of it, and it's actually wider than the opening on our intake. So we've been racing with an 1/8 inch lip. here. And if you assume it's perfectly centered, a 16th on each side, which wouldn't be a big deal, but I doubt it's perfectly centered. Essentially, the air is coming out of the blower and running into these two edges here, not by much, but it's running into it. But it's running into the edge of here, like all the way up here. Air, boom, hitting a ledge and having to turn that way. So there's a pretty good gain to be made here. If we open this up 1/2 inch and then widen this by about, I'll go 1/8 inch on both sides just to make sure that no matter what, we're there. That's kind of cool. It'll give it a better shot at the ports. It doesn't have to make such a crazy turn to get into the ports. It's a really short intake manifold. Like the runners are like that long. So any help we can do it and not having to make the air hit something and then turn to go around it, the happier the engine's gonna be. I just ran out of machinist layout fluid, so I can't mark it. I have an end mill that's probably too small and I'm gonna break in half, and we don't have the O-ring cord. Like there's a lot working against us right now. But I am gonna at least scribe this line and open this up. I can get that done today. And then tomorrow I'll pick up an end mill that maybe won't break, and then we can do our O-ring path. And so basically we just take this line and extend it. That's it right there. We don't necessarily need that. All we need to do is go this.
Oh, the O-ring line?
Yeah, the O-ring line is the edge of our deal right there. That there. And then I was just going to take that line and go forward with it, but I now know that this line is wrong. It needs to be moved over, which is interesting. Yeah, I'll black Sharpie that and then scribe it because I don't have layout fluid, but I got a black Sharpie.
It works pretty good.
Not bad, right? Machinists, fabricators everywhere. Like, what in the world are you doing?
They're throwing their beers at the TV right now.
They're probably not watching. Like a real machinist, yeah, unless he just enjoys criticizing other people, not watching this. There's no way. Okay.
I know Rawls would have a whole lot to say about what we're about to do.
Might be getting some text from him. All right.
Good and straight?
Not yet, but we're getting closer. Okay. Tomorrow we finish off our O-ring. And then it goes back together, and then we go testing. And then machinists everywhere on the interwebs will laugh at us. And you're not wrong. The fact that you're watching this video means you're either naked in your basement, or this is playing in the background of your garage while you're working on your truck. And maybe you got a square body. Maybe you don't got a square body. Maybe you want a square body. Maybe you're like me, you're in love with square body trucks, and whether you have one or not, you need a shirt, either to keep you from being naked, because you can go to jail, or to show your love for square body trucks and that square body life. And so I give to you the Square Body Life t-shirt, which coincidentally has our new giveaway truck on it. So what does this mean for you? It means, at the very least, if you enter the sweepstakes to win my truck, you can get yourself a shirt. And even if you don't win the truck, this cuddly, super soft t-shirt will make you look cool and maybe keep you out of jail. So fsmgarage.com is where you want to go. Get yourself a Square Body Life t-shirt. We also have sticker packs that are really cool. Back to the show. We have opened up the mouth. She will flow better. Now we need it to seal again, and we have a lot of options for this. The first option is to just put the old cardboard gasket over the whole thing again, which would be easiest, except the guys at HED already put an O-ring groove in here, and although I'm not a machinist, have all the wrong tools and very little knowledge, I'm going to attempt to continue their groove forward and around and back, because it would be nice to use an O-ring. That'd be great. The thing about it is, these round corners, these nice ones, this was done on a CNC machine. Like, it's done really well, using the right tooling. There's a couple ways that I could do this. The first way would be if I had a rotary head for my mill, an attachment that could spin the cutter. I could make that round corner very nice. If I had a rotary table attachment that could spin the part, that could be nice. I don't have those items. What I could do is like some Etch-a-Sketch milling, where I plunge the cutter several times around the corner and then go back afterwards and clean it up by hand. I'd like to give that a shot. I don't have confidence in just running the cutter straight and going 90 degrees and then turning left, because it's a pretty, I know the O-ring material will bend, and I've seen 90-degree O-ring channels before, but they already made a nice corner here, and although I can't make that corner as nice, I'm gonna give it a shot. And again, we have all the wrong tools. I only have one end mill. It's really, really small. It's likely to snap off. I don't even know where it came from. I ordered some new ones from McMaster-Carr. They're on their way here, except I ordered ball end mills on accident. And then when I was doing research on how to do this job, I saw YouTube videos where guys were like, yeah, don't use a ball end mill. You want to actually square cut the channel so that as the part squishes the O-ring squishes out into the corners and seals it. If you use a ball end mill and round the bottom of the channel, then you don't get the squish, I guess, for whatever reason. So yeah, we're gonna take this out, which is what I use to make this opening larger. And then we're gonna use the only 1/8 inch end mill I have, which has an 1/8 inch shank in it. And I don't know anything about it. I don't know where it came from. I don't know how slow I need to go to not break this off in aluminum, but we're gonna find out. And if it all goes sideways, again, I'll just fill the O-ring channel with silicone and stick the paper gasket over it, and we'll be track testing tonight. But it would be cool to make this nice, you know, it would be great. I'm gonna shove it way up in the collet there, into hopes that maybe that limits the chance of snapping it off. I've never taken any machinist classes. I've just watched friends of mine do it over the years, and I've watched a lot of YouTube videos, and I understand the basics. I understand that it would be great to mill this slot and then go back and polish the slot with a completely different tool that I don't own, but that's not gonna happen. It's not that kind of shop. Alright, so first thing I'm going to do is, I should use an edge finder and find the edge of the part, but I don't have an edge finder. So what I'm going to do is put that in here, see if it deflects. Alright, so we're good there. Then I'm going to slide this all the way down here, try to put it back in the channel, and if it won't go in, then I know my part isn't square to the table, and we'll have to adjust the part by loosening the clamps. Okay, so the part, to my eye, and the amount of precision we have here at FSM, is relatively square to the table, which means if I lock down the Y-axis, we should be able to turn this on and just keep going. And then when we get to this mark, I'll stop. I'll move over here, same thing, and then we'll do the Y, and then we'll go back and plunge the corners by eyeball, and because we can't spin the part to make the round corner. And then afterwards we'll go back with a Dremel and we'll just hand finish it and hope for the best. I always see people in the comments section talking about climb milling and conventional milling, and I'm really not clear on what that means. So it's possible I'm spinning the cutter and moving the table the wrong way. My best guess is that we should be going this way. Yeah, cutter that way, material this way, but I don't know. You'll let me know in the comments when I'm doing it wrong, right? So 200, 1/8" cutter. Whew! 6,100 RPM. Dang. That's fast.
Does this go that fast?
Yeah, I think we can shift it. I've never ran it that fast. So yesterday when we were roughing this out, we had a bigger cutter. We were going 3,056 RPM. Today it's asking us to step up our game to 6,112. No, this won't go that fast. This will go 4,200 in high gear. All right, the other thing we need to know is how deep. I doubt I can do this in one pass. That would be silly. All right, so that's how deep we want to go. That should be 100 thou. Okay, we still zeroed. We're still zeroed. Okay, that's 0. Ooh, that's speedy. That's 100 thou. I went outside the line a little bit right there.
It'll work.
It'll work. I might have to glue the O-ring in, but it'll work. And we'll silicone this part where the old O-ring was. Okay. All right. We'll clean it up, get ready to install it. Our O-ring material has not arrived yet, so probably just going to put a gasket back on it because I'd like to test today. But for the future, we have an O-ring slot. Yay us. We're back in Ringgold, Georgia at Brainerd Motorsports Park. It's an interesting thing about this place is that I don't know if they rent the pit spots or what, but there are a whole bunch of people that just keep their trailers here, and then I guess they just show up, unload the rig, and go run it. It's kind of cool. And this is an 1/8 mile, real nice surface. I believe the whole thing's concrete, and we've had pretty good luck testing here before. And hopefully tonight is the night where we have more good luck, because we've definitely solved a few issues, and hopefully we make some good hits here tonight to get us ready for Hot Rod Drag Week. First though, we gotta unload. That's how good of a driver Joe is. He gets us in the shade right next to the ditch. We go to open the side door on the ATC Rome 550. And it's like this pole was put here perfectly so it could clear our door so we could get our car. That's how you know everything's gonna go good. I only had to park the trailer once today. This thing needs a bath. It's been through some rainstorms lately. It's all the storage.
Where's them spiffy new shoes, mister?
I don't know. It's legit been probably 6 trips to the track, same socks. So thank God there's no smell-o-vision for you guys. It is Tuesday night, better weather. It's about 75 degrees instead of 95. Definitely less humid, so I have hope. We are gonna put the old tune that we had in here before from the last time we were here, where it went a 137 60 foot, and we're gonna try to work from there. The other thing we're working towards is hopefully eliminating that number 5 hole going out on us, which I think was from being too rich, but I'm not sure. We did replace the number 5 ignition coil and all the spark plug wires and the spark plugs just in case. So yeah, we're gonna get the car ready right now and go make a hit and see what happens. Oh, we're gonna put an O2 sensor in it too, because the left bank keeps reading lean, and I don't know that it really is. And we keep throwing fuel at it and it's not helping, so we're gonna put this in before we go.
Just noticed too, when I pulled the car out and checked, all the adjustment screws for idle were completely loose and backed out.
Yeah, I did that after that one pass, the one and only we made at like midnight at Steele, Alabama. When I got off the track, the car wouldn't idle. It was at 2,500 RPM. And so when we were at home, I backed it out when I pulled it in the garage and got it to idle down, and then forgot to reset everything. So got to do that.
It's heading up for our first pass. We made some changes to blasphemy. We opened up the manifold for the blower. We changed a number 5 ignition coil, all new plug wires. And let's see how she does. All right, thank you. Well, that didn't go as planned. I don't know why it lit the tires like that. Should have at least left. Might have been a little hot. I don't know. Maybe the track's just not there. But it struck the tires instantly, and this is back to what we were doing before. So let's go look at data and see what we got going here. That didn't even try.
No. That either we're making a lot more power now, or the starting line really sucks.
Yeah, it's not all that great, to be honest with you, but
Is it sticky?
a little bit. But I still figured it should have gone.
It did not want to go. Let me get the laptop. Find out why. At least it's not really hot out. If you're gonna suck, at least suck while being comfortable. It felt way snappier, like it's making more boost. And maybe that was the problem, is it just made, like, this is the best air we've been in since April. And maybe we fixed our boost leak, and maybe the whole thing's just spicy.
Spicy. Well, our alternator belt did not last. It's gone.
Damn it.
I need to go find a belt.
Lovely. Do you have a picture of the part number of the one you replaced that you didn't like?
I do.
Let's go buy one, because we're stuck without it.
Yeah.
All right, everybody. A little recap here. It's dark now. It's about 9 o'clock. Auto parts stores are closed. That's important because we need auto parts. This thing, well, what do I say here? Good news first. Our boost is back. Cylinder number 5 seems to be firing. We're making more power, which is why we blew the tires off. But also, the alternator belt broke. And you can see down there, it left the chat. There's no alternator belt there anymore. Went to the parts store, got another belt, same part number, on paper, same dimensions, different brand, and it will not fit. It is too short. It's about, I don't know, a ½ inch too short, quarter inch too short. So, although we have a drag strip, and it's open, once again, we're not making a second pass. And we've had a lot of that lately. And, whoa, that thing's cool. Dang. So yeah, the car appears ready to go. And I had put a new tune in it, lowered the launch RPM, pulled some more timing. We were ready to go, but we got no alternator, and I don't want to run it with electric fans, electric fuel pump, electric everything and no charging system. So this is where our testing ends, unfortunately. So it's back to the lab to do something totally unrelated. Well, we're back in the garage, and as usual, the data tells all. But only if you can believe the data. And here's what I mean by that. We went to Brainerd last night, made one hit. We're gonna go again. Probably a good idea we didn't. And we couldn't because our alternator belt broke, and then we lost our charging system. There were things, right, that stopped us from making another run. But more importantly, when I looked at the data, once again, and Joe zooms in here, in red and blue are our O2 sensors. This is on the two-step, so these numbers are not going to be accurate. They're reading leaner than they really are because it's misfiring on purpose on the two-step. But if we come down here, this is first gear, and we're almost on the rev limiter right there. This is first gear, and if you look at our left bank, once again, it is really lean. Now this is on E85, keep that in mind. We were targeting 7.3 to 1 air fuel. We're nearly 8 to 1 right there. The right bank just fine, left bank unhappy. And I thought this morning, I figured out why. I found our left header was damaged and needed some welding. And it was damaged right near where our O2 sensor mount was in the collector. And I thought, aha, there it is, right? There's the problem, except I don't think that's actually the problem. I also discovered when we pulled the O2 sensors out of the headers that way back in January during sick week, we stopped at Kevin Smith's shop and blasted me on his chassis dyno because the ECU was kind of doing weird things and putting way too much fuel to it. And we bought new O2 sensors from Kevin, right? Now this is the sensor we were running. It's a Holley NTK style sensor. And the holes come right out the sides of it. The holes come out the very end. This is a Holley Bosch style sensor. This is what I rolled into Kevin's place running. This is what I came out, right? Now, we replaced both of them, both collectors, same sensor. We have one reading way leaner than the other. Well, the problem is, if you go to my global file here, which is the tune for the car, for lack of a better term, if you go here, we are set up for NTK style sensors, not the Bosch ones that we have actually in the car. Now, off the top of my head, yes, it's going to read differently, but the other thing it's going to do, according to Holley, is it's going to damage the O2 sensor drivers in the ECU and then give you bad readings. So essentially, somewhere around May, the last time we ran the car, everything was fine, but when we put it back together now, which is August, that ECU was like, no mas. We're not going to let you keep programming me for one sensor, putting a different one in there. And so Holley is pretty sure my Dominator ECU got damaged, and that's why it's showing the left bank a full ratio richer than the right bank, which I don't believe it is. Like when you look at the spark plugs, it doesn't look like it's leaner. It doesn't look any different. We're going to weld up the header real quick and fix that. I'm actually going to put O2 sensor bungs in every pipe and probably go chassis down to the car and start from scratch with the tune. Not from scratch, but we're going to look at every pipe and just keep making pulls and make sure everything's happy and stop paying attention to the collector because we know those leak. And put a new ECU in the thing and some new O2 sensors, and we should be good to go as usual right before drag week, mostly untested, because all of the testing we've done so far, and this is our 4th shot at trying to go run the car, has kind of been for naught because we can't trust any of the data we're getting. We can't trust the ECU to do what we tell it because it's got the wrong data coming in because we had the wrong sensors. So that's where we're at. On the bright side, we are giving away the coolest C10 I've ever owned, and we're about to lower it. You're going to see this on an upcoming episode of Finnegan's Garage. We're going to do a full coilover conversion front and back on that C10 from QA1. We're going to give it a 5.7 drop, new rolling stock. It's going to be incredible, and you have a chance to park this thing in your garage if you go to fsmgarage.com right now for details on how to enter. You don't have to spend anything. But if you buy a shirt or a hat, a hoodie, or stickers, you get more chances to win this thing and put it in your garage. Or one of the other prizes, autographed FSM merch. Anyway, thanks for watching. We'll see you real soon.